Coming up, your weekly roundup of news from around the haunt industry. Welcome to the show. I'm Philip. On the HAN show, we bring you the haunt news, information, and education you need to prepare for Halloween. On Tuesdays, we bring you a roundup of news from haunts worldwide. Read more about these stories and so much more in our free weekly newsletter. Subscribe at the link in the show notes. And as always, for the news roundup, I'm passing it off to Daryl.
Take a tour of the Fear Factory SLC in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the Haunted Attraction Network's newest walkthrough video by following the links in our show notes. With 6 buildings up to 6 stories high, 2 underground passages, and Dark Spirit Bar, this 90,000 square foot haunted attraction has been featured on the Travel Channel, named as one of the top 10 haunts in the US by USA Today and Travel Channel, and has been named a 2025 iconic tier top haunt by the Haunted Attraction Association. For 2025, the attraction has added nearly 100 new scares and themes throughout the attraction. One highlight is the new abattoir chainsaw area. With a budget reaching over $150,000, the new area raises the chainsaw bar to all new levels with special effects, an ominous meat locker, flayed corpses and livestock, an integrated freight truck, and more. Guests will also notice a nod to the grass fire that destroyed a small structure on the property this past July. The area has been turned into a dedicated photo op scene of a building on fire. The haunt has also created all new menu for their bar Dark Spirits, with drinks themed to elements from their haunt. Try the new Death Dare shooter for a fun mix of spice, salt, and sweetness. Fear Factory SLC is open select nights now through November 1st. Tickets are on sale now at the haunt's official website. You can also tour Fear Factory SLC on November 8th as part of the Legendary Haunt Tour. Guests will have the chance to see full live show and then take a lights-out self-guided tour and a behind-the-scenes operations tour before enjoying an after-party on property. Tickets are still available on the tour's official website. Disney is raising prices. Is the happiest place on earth now for the wealthiest? Disney has hiked prices again. Day tickets, annual passes, parking, and even Lightning Lane. At Disneyland, parking now costs $40 a day, and the top-tier Inspire Key annual pass jumps to $1,899, still with blocked dates and reservation limits. In Florida, annual passes are up as well, though one-day tickets remain steadier. In this week's episode of the Green Tag podcast, Philip and Scott debate whether these moves are a strategy to manage crowd levels or a sign of the parks leaning further into exclusivity, especially as Disney faces stock pressure and boycotts. Are higher prices a reset for quality and capacity, or the next step in making Disney a luxury brand? And should Netflix buy Disney? Uniquely Chinese Halloween fun with Universal Beijing Resort's Scares at Universal. Universal Beijing Resort in Beijing, China, presented its largest Scares at Universal Halloween event to date. Blending established horror IP with China-specific offerings, Scares at Universal features 4 mazes, scare zones, a stage show, and more. 3 scary cute mascots, Hamikuma, a partially dismembered teddy bear from Universal Japan, Imotu, a maniacal-looking bunny returning from last year's event, and a new character, Foxy Lady, a punk rock fox described as a confident stage queen, make their first joint appearance in the Hamikuma Hallowpalooza stage show. 2 new mazes are making their debut. The House of Huapai, House of Painted Skin, which draws inspiration from a well-known Chinese short story from the 18th century, and Universal Monsters Crypt, which introduces Dracula, Frankenstein, the Phantom, Wolfman, and the Mummy to Chinese audiences. These join returning favorites Jack Circus and House Number 81. Now in its 3rd year, the expanded event demonstrates the appetite for Universal horror in Beijing and showcases a uniquely Chinese Halloween event. Scares at Universal runs select dates now through November 2nd. Learn more and purchase tickets on Universal Beijing Resort's official website. Disneyland visitor dies after riding the Haunted Mansion. A woman has died after riding the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland in Anaheim, California. The victim, whose identity has not been revealed by police out of respect for the family, was a 60-year-old woman. On Monday, October 6th, members of the Anaheim Police Department responded to a report of an unresponsive woman who had just ridden the attraction. Disneyland security personnel provided CPR until paramedics arrived, and the woman was transported to a local hospital, where she was later pronounced deceased. In a statement on October 8th, the police department said the woman suffered an unfortunate medical episode and that Orange County Sheriff Coroner will determine the cause of death at a later time. There has been no indication of any operating issues with the attraction, which was reopened shortly after the incident. Halloween night at the Disney Mansion, the Legend of Sleepy Hollow Cabaret. This Halloween, Haunted Orange County invites you to step inside Walt Disney's private storybook mansion for an evening of cocktails, eerie performances, and haunted tales inspired by the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. The night begins with hors d'oeuvres and signature drinks hosted by Julie Tremaine, writer, chef, and author of the unofficial Disney Villains Cookbook. Inside the mansion's grand living room, guests will enjoy a cabaret led by Jonathan Rieger with Ben Bromfield and Libby Ward. Next, step into Walt's private screening room to view The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Finally, join Disney historian and mansion creator Dusty Sage for a candlelight walk through the home's upper halls. Be careful, one of the ghosts just might follow you home. Costumes are welcome but not required. Tickets are on sale now for $225 per person. There will be 2 showtimes for October 31st, 3:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. Each showing will accommodate up to 25 people. Nextdoor Treat Map. Nextdoor has unveiled its 13th annual Nextdoor Treat Map, an interactive guide to local festivities. Users can navigate through their neighborhood using the interactive map to find homes and businesses that plan to celebrate Halloween through trick-or-treating and/or decorating. Neighbors and businesses can also pin their locations to the app with images and text to help inform visitors of their frightfully festive decor, or perhaps to hand out king-sized bars. The Treat Map is a perfect example of how Nextdoor helps every neighborhood feel like a home, said CEO and co-founder Nirav Tolia. Halloween is a holiday built on local connection, and this year's insights show that neighbors are more eager than ever to celebrate with their communities. Use the app to plan your perfect Halloween night. Some upcoming events this October through December include IAPA in Orlando, Florida, November 17th through 20th, and Creep It Real Festive in Santa Ana, California, November 21st through 23rd.
And that's all for the news this week. Today's episode was produced by me, Philip Hernandez, with reporting by Daryl Plunkey, post-production by David Swope. This Haunt News Update is a production of the Haunted Attraction Network, and you can sign up to our weekly newsletter at hauntedattractionnetwork.com. Support for this episode comes from Gantom Lighting and Controls. Until next time, Haunters, stay scary.
This is a Haunted Attraction Network production.